Hi everybody, it's Stephen here for the Idiot Quilter. I'm in my sewing dungeon and I thought I'd show you what I've been doing with some of my fabrics. I've been making a stash, okay? I just went away this weekend up to an area that had a lot of quilting stores in it, and I bought a whole lot of, like about $500 worth of fabric. So I have a collection of patterns too that I want to get to, so I thought I would organize my stash into the fabrics I might use potentially with some of these patterns. Now there may not be enough of this fabric to do the quilt. I would have to add to it, but right now it's just a way of, one, organizing my stash, and two, organizing it in such a way that it will be useful and that when I want to go to my next project, I will have everything pretty much there and ready to go. So let me show you what I bought, and I'm just going to move the camera down a little bit if it'll let me. I'm using a gimbal, and this is something, the first time I've ever used this to create one of these videos, so I hope it works out. So first of all, let's start with established kits, ones that I bought that already came with the material in them. So here's one right here, and I'll just pull it back, and maybe what I'll do is just go back a bit. Okay, and I'm getting a glare, but here you go. So this one I've had for several months. It came with all the material, and it looks more complicated than it really is because apparently these circles are printed already onto the fabric. So I don't think this is going to take very long, but it's in black and white and grays. And I've not done anything in black and white and grays before, so that's what attracted my attention to this particular kit. Here's another one I bought all at the same time, and it has sort of a panel piece in it and these pieces that go around. And again, this is one, I really like the fabric that was in it, and both of these kits happened to be on for half price at the time when I bought them. So as I said, they've been sitting around for a while waiting to be done. Now I'm real excited about this one because I picked this one up on the weekend, and it comes with a pattern, and I think I'll stick to that pattern, but this is Tim Holtz material, and it's already been partially cut in here, so everything that you need with the exception of the backing material and the batting come with this, and it came with this pattern. Now of course these colors are totally different than what I'll be using. I'll be using the Tim Holtz ones, but I saw one in the quilt store where I bought this and already done, and I really liked it. So those are 3 kits already put together. So then I went through my stash and laid out materials for potential other kits, my own version. So I have shown this one before. I really like this star, but this comes with a pattern that you actually, basically it's paper piecing or paper foundation piecing. I'm not sure if I've got the right term, where you lay the fabric on, sew it to the paper, and you don't have to worry about Y seams, and the points will all come out perfect. So I really like that they use bright colors on this, but I'm not going to use bright colors on it. At least I don't think so right now. I'm going to use batiks. And I have all these 2.5-inch strips of batik material, quite a few of them in here, and another package here that I think will go along with this. So it'll be a little bit more in the more vintage, muted colors than what it shows on the package, but I think this will make a very spectacular quilt. Now this one I picked up, and it's just fun. These butterflies, as you can see. And I have a jelly roll of K Facet material. I think it's K Facet. Yes, it is, collection from his Free Spirit collection. And you see I have not unrolled it yet, but they're nice bright colors, and I think they're very appropriate for butterflies. So, and there's a picture on the back of what the finished quilt looks like. It's a very modern looking quilt. So I think these will work very well with that. Another one, this was a free pattern that I got from the Missouri Star Quilt Company. I bought something else from them, and they threw in some patterns as well. This is a fairly busy looking quilt, but looks fairly easy, and I think it's made up of a lot of 2.5-inch strips. It says that in the back. So more batiks, 2.5-inch strips here that I think will go very nicely together. And of course you can see it's not going to look quite as country style, whatever you want to call it, once I use these materials with it, or these fabrics. Another one that I have here, and this came from the Missouri Star Quilt Company again, this. And I'm thinking for it is I picked up all of these, turn them around so you can see them. I picked up all these fabrics, or fat quarter squares, and I got 2 of each color. And I purposely went from light to the mediums to the darks with that. And I think that might look very dramatic using this particular pattern. And then I picked up some yardage from another quilt store I was at on the weekend. And it's very fall-like colors, and I thought this pattern that I've had as well for a while is very, you know, fallish in its in its appearance. So I thought these would work very well too with this. Another pattern from Missouri Star Quilt Company is this 9-patch and hourglass one. Again, it looks very old-fashioned country style, but I think I can modernize it by using some batiks in that. Now, I may not have enough material for this. I may have to supplement that, but that's okay. It's a start. Now, of course, I do want to make, and this will be my next major project, I want to make this quilt, and I want to make it at a queen size using these materials. I've already gotten the materials I need for this because I took that pattern right with me into the store. So this is kind of ready to go whenever I get the nerve to put it together. So those are the kits so far, and I'm going to organize these into plastic boxes and label them, and so when I'm ready to work on one of these projects I can just pull the box out and away it goes. I do have other fabrics I don't have patterns for yet, but I'm going to keep these sort of separate as well. A couple of fat quarter packages in more of the vintage styles, some more batik fat quarters, and I also have these little baby ones, and I just love the colors in these, the reds and the blues, and these are 1/8 of a yard, or half a fat quarter, I think, in these. So a little smaller, but they'd be good for fillers, I think, on some quilts. So there you have it. Let me just tilt up a bit here, and so you don't get a glare on me, and I'm still playing with this gimbal. Okay, there we go. So those are my plans for these kind of things. Now, is there anything being idiotic about this? No, actually, I think I'm being very organized with this. I think an idiot is one who buys all this material, puts it away in a drawer, and forgets they have it. And that would be something that I would do typically. So I'm trying to avoid that, especially it's a big investment in fabric. As I said, I spent $500 this past weekend, plus not to mention what I already have in my stash besides these. So it's time to organize the stash, and I think the best way to organize it is by project, so you'll be sure to use it. So that's what I was up to today, so thank you for joining me in this episode of Idiot Quilter, and there will be more later on. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.